feature on the Packers' superstar wide receiver. He's putting together one of the better seasons in league history. It's the Packers and the Vikings, and it's all up next.
Historic Lambeau Field fittingly butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lambeau. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here we go with the Packer offense guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A good pickup there, 26 yards. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Rodgers to throw once more. And this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to have this short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
So, Charles, you know, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%, few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango.
Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll look to throw again.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 12-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Back to throw again.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson
from 4 yards out.
And the Vikings have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau.
I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big pickup of 38.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And his throw is incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position. and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they come up now, 2nd and goal. Working from the gun, Rodgers, and it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Bullock's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Well, we're probably not the first, but all of us at EA Sports certainly want to wish you and yours a happy and prosperous new year. And as a celebration of that, a big slate of NFL games on this Sunday, Week 17. Second to last weekend of the NFL docket. Later tonight, the battle for Los Angeles, Rams and Chargers, 5:15 Pacific at SoFi. And then on Monday night, Charles and I are on to Cincinnati. Bills and Bengals, 2 cold weather teams in what will be a frigid Paul Brown Stadium. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
2nd and 6. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. No, he didn't spike it. He faked it, and he fends him off.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, when your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
Cook is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing, is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Now Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That is caught by Thielen. Touchdown! Adam Thielen with career touchdown number 75. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph now to have the PAT. And it's 21-3. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Another drive coming up for this Packers offense.
And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 33 yards that time. Back to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 6-yard touchdown run. The Vikings continue to play away here this first half. He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And the route is on here in this first half. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Packers with a football here late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Rodgers.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time.
Picked off by Chandon Sullivan.
Past the 20.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They'll run with Cook. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Packer offense heading back for one final first half drive.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. All
right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there at a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
12 yards there, first down Vikings.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On second down, Cook. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They run again on first down. Cook. The tackle made by Devon Campbell.
That's a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run it again with Cook. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Holding, offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
Let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll try the middle with Cook. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21. And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on 3rd.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They'll set up a throw. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, That's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded at about the 28. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit. They're in the same spot again.
We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. 73 yards rushing now for Cook, and this is a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field.
But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Well, certainly not how they drew it up. A 4th down gamble turns into a 4th down scramble, but all is well. First down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet,
and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Vikings are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. So the watch is officially on now. That ties him with Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander for second place all-time on the single-season list of rushing touchdowns.
And partner, he now just sits one behind LaDainian Tomlinson's record of 28. We know LT's watching. We know he'd hate to lose his record, but we also understand he has great admiration for what this man's done, and he would be a worthy successor to the crown. LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the great players, one of the great people of the NFL.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss. Rodgers now on first down. And this is Moncrief with a catch. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. On first and 10, here's Rodgers. Open man left side, it's the tight end DeGuara. A good gain on first, has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Rodgers going to throw. He'll find his tight end here, DeGuara. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Rodgers to throw once more. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Through the middle of the field. And it's a Packers touchdown. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down in defense.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
104 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, first and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Here's Cook again.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Vikings,
they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year.